The 2009 SEC Basketball Tournament is being brought to you by Haviland, by Ruby Tuesday, by Verizon Wireless, and by Sonic Drive-In.
On a beautiful afternoon in the Tampa Bay area, a crew getting a little workout on the Hillsborough River there. And inside the St. Pete Times Forum, we're ready for the quarterfinals of the Southeastern Conference Tournament. Let's look at the starting lineups for this game. First with the Wildcats of Kentucky, Ramon Harris, Perry Stevenson, who is a native of Lafayette, Louisiana, Patterson, who had a double-double against Ole Miss, Porter, and Meeks, who had 25 in the opening win over the Rebels yesterday. And for the LSU Tigers, Tasman Mitchell, who hit the winner against Kentucky at Rupp Arena. Johnson, Spencer, Temple, who gets his 59th consecutive start, and Player of the Year, Marcus Thornton. And Kentucky out in the all-black uniforms today. And for more on that, let's check in with Dave Baker.
Yeah, Tom, to get a different result against LSU this time, the Cats are gone with that different look. The only other time they've worn the black jerseys is when they honored the late equipment manager, Bill Kitely. All those jerseys at that time said Kitely on the back. These have the players' names on the back. Jody Meeks has been pushing to wear them for a long time. So after the last film session last night, Billy Gillespie goes inside some secret room where the team was meeting, pulls out a jersey, throws it at Meeks, then he throws one at Patterson and says, you guys are going to be the toughest insert adjective out on the court tomorrow. So a little motivation by the Wildcat coach.
Well, Coach Billy G, known for his getting inside the heads of his players and perhaps pulling out a little ploy, kind of like Notre Dame in the green jerseys, pulling out the black uniforms for the Wildcats today. Kentucky and LSU have met only once in the SEC tournament since 1993. SEC basketball presented in high definition where available by Raycom Sports. And Kentucky is 14-1 versus LSU in the SEC tournament. Tony Green, Anthony Jordan, and Doug Sermons will call today's game. Kentucky's only loss to LSU came in 1980 when the Tigers won it all. LSU controls the opening tap.
Man-to-man defense immediately by Kentucky. Porter out there with a difficult job guarding Spencer.
Off the curl, Thornton missing the shot. Meeks and Stevenson battling each other for the rebound and lose it out of bounds.
A nice job of blocking out that time on the part of Stevenson and Meeks. No LSU player near the ball, but they were battling each other.
Spencer heavily guarded by Porter as Johnson comes out to get it. Now back to Spencer, the point guard. Three-pointer up and no good by Temple, and rebounded by Michael Porter on the long rebound.
Tigers already 0 for 2.
And Kentucky's first possession.
LSU in the 2-3 zone. Matchup zone.
Patterson's pass deflected, but saved by Harris.
Well, Tom, we've seen more teams do this to Kentucky this year, simply to cut off the play of Patterson inside and then really attack on the outside against Meeks.
7 to shoot. Skip pass. Harris, 3 to shoot. Banked it in.
That's a pretty nice move. LSU's defense broke down a little bit. When you play zone, you don't allow a man to dribble into the lane. It was an easy layup in there.
And it came with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Spencer for 3. Good.
This LSU squad not known for shooting a lot of threes this year.
But when they do shoot, they hit a pretty good percentage, 37.3, third in the SEC. Kentucky is 5th in three-point shooting.
The Tigers come out of that zone and go to a man-to-man. Already Trent Johnson giving us 2 looks on his defensive end.
Trent Johnson, the SEC Coach of the Year. Double down on Patterson, got it back out to Porter. 10 to shoot. Patterson in close, missed it. On the floor, picked up by Spencer. 3 on 3. And a layup, beautifully handled by the Tigers. Marcus Thornton's first basket.
How about that pass by Spencer? It was a thing of beauty, wasn't it? Spencer averaging about 4 assists a game. He has been terrific.
Off the curl, Jody Meeks. Lost the ball. Here's Thornton against Harris. Harris blocked it, but fouled him.
the way you execute a fast break. You've got 3-on-2, put the ball in the middle, stop short, and feed the lanes. Nice move by Thornton that time.
There's Trent Johnson, the LSU coach, in his first year winning SEC Coach of the Year honors. Taking the Tigers to a 25-6 record. And won the regular season SEC championship with a 13-3 mark in conference play.
You know, oftentimes when you and I look at college basketball teams, we look at a lot of experience, senior leadership. And that's one of the reasons I think LSU won this title this year is because of that. They've got so many good upperclassmen, good skilled upperclassmen.
And in a young league that had very few of those. Marcus Thornton, second leading scorer, SEC Player of the Year with 4 here in the early going for the Tigers, who lead it by 5.
LSU back into that zone defense again.
How difficult is it, Larry, when teams switch defenses almost every possession? That'll make them come out of the zone, maybe. Michael Porter hits his first shot of 3.
Well, to answer your question, I think the recognition is more important than anything. Once you realize what you're facing, then you set it up. Kentucky did a nice job of getting the ball to Porter that time, and you're right, that will break up a zone.
Tasman Mitchell's first shot, a fall away, good over Josh Harrelson, who has come into the game for Kentucky.
Tom, if there were a comeback player of the year, I probably would give it to Tasman Mitchell. He has been terrific this year.
Meeks, triple team, shot blocked. Thornton lays it in.
Boy, LSU getting a lot of layups against Kentucky.
Some transition coming off the steals. 6 points for Marcus Thornton. He was out in a hurry, wasn't he?
In a hurry is right. It's a very quick LSU team.
4 of 6 shooting for the Tigers. Kentucky 2 of 3, but they've only gotten the 3 attempts. Another steal, this one by Mitchell.
Boy, LSU's defense looks really good today.
3 Kentucky turnovers early.
They only had 10 all of yesterday against Ole Miss.
Mitchell double team, back out to Temple. To Mitchell. Missed it as Patterson contested the shot and then gets the rebound. Coach Gillespie calls the play to Porter. Number 2 they call. As Harrelson comes out to get it. And now Meeks. Here's Harrelson down low. He lost it. Here comes Thornton again, off to the races. Put it in. Timeout, Kentucky. 8 points for Marcus Thornton, leading the Tigers to the early advantage.
Tom, they have really stifled Kentucky's offense. I mean, they've tried to put the ball inside, and they've turned the ball over. Simply the steals by the LSU defense, converting it to offense. I mean, they have gotten so many layups. I counted 5 layups off of turnovers by Kentucky.
Kentucky's had 4 turnovers, 3 of them off steals. So LSU doing a good job of converting these miscues into points. Well, Marcus Thornton, you're not going to catch him.
Isn't that great? Great hands inside. I mean, Harrelson never saw him coming.
Kentucky playing with 2 big men, Patterson and Harrelson. And Harrelson turning it over on the last possession. The Wildcats, in fact, have turned it over 3 straight times. In battle to Billy Gillespie, the Kentucky head coach, in his 2nd season. Tasman Mitchell with 3 steals, Larry, as the Wildcats try to get something going offensively.
It's like I said, LSU's defense in this early going has really put down Kentucky. Nice move by Stevenson.
And he banked it home. The pass from Patterson. So 13-7 now, the LSU lead. Temple off balance, back to Spencer for 3. It's no good. Thornton's follow. 10 points already for Marcus Thornton.
That's why he's player of the year. Just those kind of plays, just like that.
He's hit 4 of his 5 field goal attempts. It's 15-7 LSU. Deflected by Thornton. Can't quite get it as it goes out of bounds. Marcus Thornton came to play today in the quarterfinal round, leading LSU to an early 15 of the SEC tournament. And get your cell phone ready. Time for our interactive feature, the Verizon Text of War. Who's most valuable to their team? Is it Marcus Thornton of LSU or Jody Meeks of Kentucky? You can text S1 or S2 for your choice to 55333. Meeks has not attempted a field goal yet. Thornton has 10 early points for LSU. You know, Larry, yesterday when Kentucky faced Ole Miss, I thought they had a lot of spring in their legs. They looked quick with a lot of energy. In fact, Patrick Patterson told Buzz Baker after the game that coach had been a little easier on them, and they did feel fresh. Well, today now, to me, LSU looks much fresher, much more energy here early than Kentucky.
I would agree with that.
Darius Miller had a big game yesterday, enters the Kentucky lineup for the first time. He had 12 in that first round win against Ole Miss. Porter's 2 for 2 from three-point range.
That'll break up defenses quickly. If Porter can begin to make shots like that from on the perimeter, all of a sudden LSU has to open it up on the inside.
Spencer penetrates, can't score. Ripped down by Patterson, his second board. Here's Porter all the way, whips it to Stevenson, who stepped out of bounds. 5 Kentucky turnovers.
Michael Porter getting in good position to receive the pass. Once it hits his hands, it's gone. And the bottom of the net. Good start for Michael Porter, the guard.
Up that problemless play, Kentucky all season long. Rears its ugly head again. 5 early turnovers by the Cats. Thornton got a screen from Mitchell. Picked up on the switch by Stevenson. Thornton to the hoop, no good. Patterson can't hold it, now chases it down. LSU had already retreated.
Ball bounced twice before anybody picked it up.
Here's Patterson on the entry pass. Double team. Johnson got a piece of it. And Thornton the rebound.
3 of the leading shot blockers in the Southeastern Conference are in this game right now. Tom, Chris Johnson right there taking on Patterson.
Here's Thornton. Defended by Harris. Temple. Back out to Spencer with 10 to shoot. Spencer tied up by Miller. Good job defensively by Darius Miller, the Kentucky freshman. That's the first LSU turnover.
And all of a sudden it's Kentucky's defense is beginning to come forward now. LSU putting it on Kentucky, and now the Cats are answering. They'll get the ball back on the alternate possession arrow. Spencer had nowhere to go with that ball, and a good defensive play. Good hands by Miller.
Kentucky with a 5-point deficit, playing without Jody Meeks, who's on the bench. Patterson finds Harris. Harris swatted by Chris Johnson. That's his 167th career block. Second all-time at LSU behind Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, Meeks and Stevenson are the 2 best shot blockers for Kentucky, but Chris Johnson is number 2 in the conference behind Jarvis Bernardo.
Patterson shooting and foul. Got him on the arm. Chris Johnson's first.
Must be terribly intimidating to go inside with the basketball and realize that somewhere around there are Patterson, Stevenson, and Johnson. Because all 3 of these guys can block shots with the best of them.
First foul on LSU. Patrick Patterson's first free throw is good. His first point of the game. This telecast featuring Kentucky, brought to you in part by the Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Patrick Patterson had a good game against Ole Miss yesterday with a double-double.
There's Porter going out, replaced by Kevin Galloway, the junior college transfer from Sacramento, California. Jody Meeks continues to reside on the Kentucky bench. You see the double-double put up by Patrick Patterson yesterday. Meeks applauds from the Wildcat Pines. Cats close within 3.
Now, one of the things that really helped LSU win the championship this year, I think, was the play of the point guard, Bo Spencer.
This shot by Mitchell and the rebound by Harris. LSU's gone about 3 minutes now without scoring a point. Kentucky getting back in it.
And really getting back in it with their defense.
Patterson backs Johnson down, misses it, but Harris puts it home.
Cats are back.
7-0 run by Kentucky.
All of a sudden, that spring in their step, it's back.
Terry Martin on the floor for LSU as Spencer has it blocked by Galloway, who leads the break the other way. Galloway, nowhere to go with it. Did not keep his head up, put it in an impossible pass for Harris to handle. Kentucky mishandles the break and turns it over for the 6th straight time. But the Cats have outscored LSU 7-0 to close within 1 of the Tigers. Run in this SEC tournament as we take a look at our Haviland Defensive Shield. LSU leading the SEC in three-point percentage defense. 32% they allow their opponents to hit from beyond the three-point arc.
Pretty obvious that shield was up in the first 5 minutes of this game as LSU had really restrained Kentucky from doing anything, particularly on the inside.
But the Wildcats have recovered as Porter has hit both his three-point attempts. Kentucky, in fact, as a team is 2 for 2 from three-point range. And overall, 5 of 9, 56%, while LSU is hitting 43%. Problem for Kentucky, 6 turnovers, only 1 for LSU. A pushing foul called on Darius Miller of Kentucky. His first. Also the second against the Wildcats. So over the last 3.5 minutes, Kentucky outscoring LSU, and the Tigers cooling off after that hot start. In fact, the hot start included some transition baskets. Penetration, Mitchell came out, tapped no good, tapped again. Thornton claims it, took it away from Harris. Lost it out of bounds, last hit by Kentucky.
Tom, that graphic that we just put up there for LSU, they lost their last 2 games in the conference season. And in both of those games, they shot under 38%. It only happened 3 times during the season and twice this year at the end of the season, and they lost both those games. One to Vandy at home and the other one at Auburn.
Under 40% today to start the game. Near steal by Harris. Harris is active today. LSU has Quentin Thornton, the 6'9" senior from Orlando, Florida, into the game.
Interesting that Meeks continues to reside on the bench over there.
Kentucky's made this 7-0 run without him.
Good trap by Miller.
And he's going to be called for a foul, reaching in with 9 on the shot clock. Second foul on Darius.
The trap was there, and if you're going to get some help, then you've got to make sure you don't grab the guy's arm that you're trying to trap on the sideline. Miller did.
You see Jody Meeks returning to the Kentucky lineup with Harris out. Meeks has played only 5 minutes here as we reach the midway point of the first half. There's a hand check foul on Stevenson. His first, now 4 against the Wildcats.
Tom, I think one of the most difficult things to do to guard LSU is that they are also quick at their various positions. You see a lot of hand-checking fouls against them, and Kentucky's had several of those today simply because they're so quick at putting the ball on the floor and getting to that rim.
It's Johnson calling play number 2. Spencer kicks it back outside. Temple's 3 is no good. Long rebound. Who has it? Scramble for the basketball. Looked like a football the way they were piling on each other. And possession arrow to LSU. So LSU unable to score on this possession, but this possession has lasted 1:30 seconds.
Tom,
and continues.
Well, the other thing is that Kentucky's defense has really picked up. I mean, they've made it really difficult on them to get any kind of shot, and they're not getting those runouts that they were getting early.
Earl Anderson on the stats giving us that time of possession after I said football. That breaks the drought. And who else It's a 5-minute drought, and Marcus Thornton gets the 3 to break the 5-minute dry spell. Miller floater, no good. Tap, no good by Galloway, and then it's Spencer who comes away with it. Marcus Thornton, so difficult to guard. Spencer launches a 3. It's good. Back-to-back threes by the Tigers. And they go back up by 7.
Nice assist by Thornton that time as he drove into the lane. The defense came to him. He kicked it right out to Spencer for that 3.
Spencer has 6. Marcus Thornton with 13, the leading point getter in the game.
And Spencer and Thornton are their 2 best 3-point shooters.
Stevenson, nice touch pass to Galloway. He's fouled as he takes it up. It's on Tasman Mitchell, his first.
Here's Thornton with the first one, and then coming right back with Thornton on the pass to the outside is Spencer. You see the way Kentucky's defense gathered around him when he got that ball into the lane, and Spencer was wide open. We had a little controversy right here. We had one official calling the ball out of bounds, Tony Green underneath, and then another official called a foul, and the foul overruled the play that the ball was knocked out of bounds.
Called the foul on Mitchell is Galloway, who's only a 57% free throw shooter, misses the first.
He's one of the very few Kentucky players that's a poor free throw shooter.
Kentucky leads the league at 77.7 in the regular season. Just under 9 minutes to go in the opening half. Regular season champ LSU against Kentucky. It's 21-14 Tigers. Step back, 3, Thornton. Missed it, but up for the rebound, Quentin Thornton, and then blocked out of bounds by Kentucky. Stevenson rejected it, I believe.
Like I said, anytime you get the ball down underneath and you try to go back up with it, and you're playing against Kentucky, usually Patterson and Stevenson are somewhere around there lurking to swat it away.
Thornton guarded by Harris.
That's a walk.
And called by Tony Green. Second LSU turnover.
I was watching that time as Garrett Temple was trying to get some momentum to go forward, and oftentimes when you see a guy doing that, he'll shuffle his feet. And that's what he did. Kentucky will get it back. LSU's threes have really put them out on top now.
So after the LSU 5-minute drought, Kentucky's 3.5 and counting. Harris. Blocked, recovered by Patterson. He got it, and one. Quentin Thornton, the LSU foul.
I have no idea where Harris thought he was going to go with this basketball. He dribbled into 3 LSU defenders. Watch this. He's got 3 LSU guys right there around him. Fortunately, the ball got slapped back into Patterson's hands, and he was able to get it up and in and get fouled.
And for the 3-point play, as you see now, 5 points for Patterson, breaking the 4.5 minutes Kentucky drought. Eight minutes to go, opening half. Johnson drives baseline. That is a tripping foul on Kentucky's Perry Stevenson, number 2. We got a timeout at the 7:57 mark.
Quarter Pats, as Elvis looks on. 21-17, we're in the first half here. Tampa, Florida. Here's a little package on Marcus Thornton. One of the leading scorers last year. He just simply picked up where he left off last season. The difference is his defensive work. I talked to Trent Johnson earlier in the year, and he told me that he has become a better all-around player. And I think he's put that on exhibition here. Some excellent work rebounding and also his defensive play. Only three players to score for LSU, Tom, and Thornton already with 13.
And Spencer has 6 as LSU has hit 38%, 8 of 21, 3 of 7 at the 3-point line. And Meeks has not scored yet. On that last foul, Kentucky got a bench warning complaining about the whistle calling the foul. Kentucky's hit 6 of 13, 46% shooting. And Porter 2 for 2 from the arc. The only 2 attempts from there by Kentucky. Johnson's short, but the offensive board by Tasman Mitchell. Rebound's pretty even. LSU has 2 more as Temple scores.
Nice move by Garrett Temple. He got that pass and got it up quickly before Kentucky could organize and get that shot blocking ability of theirs on track.
Away from the ball and a whistle and a 3-second violation against Kentucky. Their 7th turnover.
Watch Garrett Temple right here going down inside. He got it up there quickly. Stevenson had eyes on it. He was trying to swat it away, but it was already gone.
Kentucky had a flurry of early turnovers, but that is their 7th, but their 1st in 4 minutes. A.J. Stewart makes an appearance, a rare appearance in the Kentucky lineup, as Meeks gets the rebound. In fact, A.J. was out there only briefly, back to the bench now. Harris off the curl, kicks it back out to Meeks. Meeks blocked by Temple. That's his first shot of the game, and it was rejected. Harris open 3, no good. Johnson almost had it taken away by Stevenson, but retains possession. Off the curl, Thornton firing a 3, no good. Rebound by Patterson, his 5th. Meeks driving on Temple. Temple, the excellent defensive player. Meeks got it up and in. Tough shot, under pressure. His first.
Tom, he really worked for that basket. I mean, he went one way, had to curl back inside, come across the lane. LSU putting a lot of pressure on the SEC's leading scorer.
Not sure what that was, a pass or a shot.
Pass to the cheerleaders, the Kentucky cheerleaders underneath there.
They were glad to get it. That's 3 turnovers for Trent Johnson's Tigers. As Billy G makes another substitution. Stevenson out. And who came in? I guess it's Harris that comes back.
Yeah.
Or Miller, maybe.
It was Miller.
Miller sets a screen for Meeks, who shoots a 3. No good. Marcus Thornton with a rebound. He has 4 boards. And Spencer walks it up for the Tigers. They've led the bulk of this first half. Kentucky scored the first 2. Casper Mitchell got too far into the basket on the lob pass. Somehow got it back, muscled it up. Patterson got a piece, batted out. Spencer will claim it for the Tigers.
High pick and roll for Spencer.
Tasman Mitchell. And I'm not sure of the call here. It's a foul call against Kentucky. Try Sonic's new everyday value menu, the best way to satisfy your Sonic cravings without breaking the bank. It delivers the great variety you expect, all for $1 each. Try the Junior Deluxe Burger, Chicken Strip Sandwich, Junior Breakfast Burrito, many other items, all for $1 each all day, every day. Not just good, it's Sonic good. Darius Miller was called for his 3rd personal foul. And the roll at the free throw line for Tasman Mitchell, only his 3rd point. Miller to the bench after picking up that foul. Number 3. Terry Stevenson returns.
Tasman Mitchell played 3 games last year, and he had that fracture in his shin, that stress fracture, caused him to miss almost the entire season. He has come back with a vengeance this year.
And Johnson takes it away from Patterson on the rebound, so the Tigers get another chance at it. Mitchell high post, hands to Thornton. Thornton drives on Harris. Lost it on the way up. Off Harris, back to the Tigers.
Pretty good defensive work by Kentucky again, though. That time Thornton really got around Meeks, was on his way to the basket. Actually, it was around Harris, and Meeks was there to meet him to prevent him from getting any further.
Inbound to Spencer. Shot clock did not reset as you check some other scores. Harris surprised Spencer with a block from behind. Here's Meeks to the basket. Laid it in.
What made that play really good was the avoidance of the player control foul, the charging foul that could have happened. Spencer was right there to take it, and he went right by him.
30-second timeout LSU as Kentucky closes within 3.
Pretty nice play here by Harris coming from behind. I thought Spencer was a little lax in getting that shot off. He thought he was wide open. Watch Meeks avoid the player control foul right there. Slicing to the left and laying it up with the right hand.
Very nice body control by Jody Meeks.
It's part of, I think, what has happened to his game, too. He has become a more rounded player, well-rounded, particularly at putting the ball on the deck and getting to the rim in a hurry.
Here are the top scoring duos in the Southeastern Conference, with Meeks and Patterson leading the way and Thornton and Mitchell second.
I could live with either one of those 4 sets. Right. All 4 of them are good.
LSU's having another field goal drought, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Only 1 free throw made in that stretch. No field goals. Spencer, guarded by Porter. 10 to shoot. Spencer, touch shot blocked by Stevenson. LSU gets it back, but only 6 on the shot clock.
Spencer once again trying to get deep into that Kentucky defense. Anytime you get that far in there with a point guard, you're going to have to confront Patterson or Stevenson.
Rolls off. The shot underneath by Thornton. 6 rebounds now for Patterson. Kentucky's blocked 5 shots today, and Stevenson has 2 of them. Meeks back to Patterson, who has to retreat to get it. 10 to shoot. They're going to clear it out for Meeks. Jody Meeks slicing to the hoop, lost it. Here's Spencer the other way. 2-on-2. Kentucky hustling back on defense.
Meeks trying to do a little too much that time. But right into that LSU defense.
Marcus Thornton missing a long 3. Patterson with 7 rebounds now.
Doesn't he have a long reach to gather those rebounds in? I mean, he is really one of the best I have seen at Kentucky in a long time of doing that.
Field goal drought continues for the Tigers as we pass the 3-minute mark.
Well, Temple's really making it hard on Meeks. Hard to catch the ball, hard to get into the lane with the dribble.
Porter bricks that attempt. He had hit his first 2 3-point tries. That would look bad. Now LSU, their last field goal came at the 7:45 mark. Now 2.5. Spencer, 3-pointer. Air ball. Porter might have gotten a piece of it. And there is Johnson with the follow, his first basket. That breaks the LSU field goal drought and makes it a 5-point game. They went 5 minutes and 20 seconds with only 1 free throw to show. Nice catch, Patterson from Meeks.
You know, he beat Johnson that time, and Thornton came from the other side to try to help. He floated by. By the time Patterson caught it, there was nobody else in there to contest the shot.
Patrick Patterson has 7 points, back within 3. Temple's floater, no good. Battle for it underneath, and LSU's ball. A greatly contested quarterfinal game between the Wildcats and the Tigers. LSU holds the upper hand. Back at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa, 26-23, LSU leads Kentucky in the quarterfinals. Watercolor, a coastal resort on Florida's beautiful Emerald Coast, brings unspoiled Florida and southern hospitality to your family. The Watercolor Resort offers everything you need to paint the perfect vacation. Call 888-775-2545 or visit watercolorresort.com for more information, and mention SEC basketball for up to 25% off select vacation accommodations. Update the stats. Kentucky shooting 9 of 20, 45%. LSU 10 of 34, 29%. From three-point range, LSU 3 of 11, Kentucky 2 of 5. LSU's out-rebounded Kentucky 21-16. Kentucky's turned it over 8 times to 3 by LSU. Now 4 as the jump ball is called, and the possession arrow to the Wildcats.
After Stevenson got the ball, he slid about 10 feet. Never got up, though. They tied him up, and the alternate arrow will give it back to Kentucky.
And you saw Tony Green waving for a little housekeeping on the courts. Wipe up the moisture. And let's update our Verizon Text to War poll. Who's more valuable to their team, Jody Meeks or Marcus Thornton? And the vote now 89% for Jody, with 11% for Marcus. You can participate by texting S1 or S2 to 55333. Meeks, Temple got a piece of it, and Johnson has it for LSU.
Tom, I got to take Garrett Temple is doing a great job on Jody Meeks. When he's been out there on the floor, Temple has really shadowed him.
Meeks with 4 points. Marcus Thornton, the leading scorer in the game, with 13. Spencer shot short, and Patterson now has 8 boards.
Already 8 rebounds in the first half.
So Thornton with 13 points, Meeks with only 4. Inside the final minute of this first half.
A little bit of a switch right now. Martin has picked up Meeks.
8 to shoot. Patterson lobs inside, too hard for Stevenson. And then fumbled out of bounds by Thornton. Kentucky gets a break there. Shot clock, though, did not reset. Only 2 on the shot clock.
That's right. They did not have possession.
See if Kentucky realizes it. Lob it inbounds to Patterson. Got it to Harris. Did not touch the rim. That's a shot clock violation by Kentucky. 9 turnovers now with the Wildcats. LSU with the ball and a 3-point lead. Tigers holding for the final shot of the half. Now 10 seconds. Pull-up shot by Temple is good. Garrett Temple scores. And Porter launches from just inside front court and comes up short with the final shot of the half. Led by Thornton's 14 points. Though they only got 2 field goals the last 7 minutes and 45 seconds. LSU leads Kentucky 28-23 at halftime as we go to Dave Baker.
Trent, you came out. I thought you had really good defensive pressure to start the game. Had a couple of scoring droughts, but going to the locker room with a lead at the half.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're good defensively, so you got to give them a lot of credit. They're really forcing us high off the floor, and every shot we're taking is contested. So we got to slow down and at the offensive end and the half court and set good screens and be patient. You know, I thought we took a couple bad ones there, but I mean, Kentucky's long, lean, athletic, and very competitive, and they're good defensively.
Good first half of basketball. Thanks, Trent. Best of luck to you. That's Trent Johnson. His LSU Tigers go to the locker room with a 28-23 lead over Kentucky in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament.
By Toyota and by Red Lobster.
That's the marina in St. Petersburg, and it would be a good day to be out on the water, but too much good basketball being played inside the St. Pete Times Forum as we come to the quarterfinal round of the SEC tournament. And a few moments ago, Dave Baker talked to Kentucky coach Billy Gillespie.
Billy, after that first 5 minutes, they only scored 13 points the rest of the half. I thought your defense really locked them up.
Our first shot defense is outstanding. They got 14 offensive rebounds. They averaged 12 points something for the season. In conference play, it's not going to get it done.
Good defensive battle, though. Both teams really playing good defense.
Both teams are really competing hard. They're 2 good defensive teams.
All right, thanks, Billy. Best of luck second half. That's Billy Gillespie, Tom.
All right, Buzz, and he mentioned those offensive rebounds, 14 by LSU. It's been a problem for Kentucky. They've allowed double-digit offensive rebounds by their opponents in 13 of the last 18 SEC games. SEC basketball, the tournament presented in high definition, where available by Raycom Sports. Tom Hammond, Larry Conley, Buzz Baker, courtside for the Wildcats and the Tigers.
Porter once again picking up out front. He's got Spencer. Spencer did not have a good first half. He didn't shoot the ball well at all. He was 2 for 9 from the field.
Tasman Mitchell, that shot blocked by Kentucky. It was rejected by Patterson, and after a conference, it's going to be awarded to Kentucky. The only player in double figures so far, Marcus Thornton of LSU.
He got a lot of those early, Tom. I mean, he really didn't get much done after that first 5 minutes. LSU's defense has been terrific. Well, so has Kentucky's.
Right. Harris nowhere to go. Got it to Porter. Run your offense. Here's Meeks. Reverse, a pretty shot by Jody Meeks.
He did that yesterday against Ole Miss. Oftentimes when he's got a guy beat, he'll go ahead and let his body carry him to the other side with that reverse English. Nice move.
Half dozen points for Jody. Cuts the LSU lead to 3. We played 1 minute of the second half in this quarterfinal matchup.
Spencer once again running things out there, controlling traffic.
Spencer cut off. And a 3-second violation against the Tigers. 5 turnovers.
Watch again, Jody Meeks right here. No one to help, and he floated underneath and reversed the ball off of the glass. Temple was with him every step of the way and then kind of gave up right underneath the basket.
Temple was ready to block the shot on the near side of the rim, so Meeks floated under and reversed it. Beautifully done. Here's a lob to Patterson. Missed the shot, but fouled by Johnson. That's 2 on Chris Johnson.
Tom, you know Kentucky did this to Ole Miss yesterday. They came out of the locker room and really asserted themselves on both ends of the court. Gillespie may have delivered the same message delivered yesterday because they have come out of here ready to play to start the second half. A nice pass by Harris that time to Patterson.
Closing in on another double-double.
It's almost becoming a current affair with him. I mean, every time he shows up to play a game.
He had 15 points, 14 rebounds against Mississippi yesterday. It's the second one off the front of the rim and rebounded by Johnson. I don't know by Mitchell it was, who hands it off to Spencer. Put home by Johnson after the miss by Thornton. The defense collapsed on Thornton and nobody blocked off Chris Johnson, who slammed it down. Meeks, entry pass, Patterson. Back outside to Harris, and Patterson comes outside now to get it. Dangerous pass, Porter saves it. 10 to shoot. Stevenson fouled on the way up. If it's, let's see who it's on. If it's on Johnson, it could be costly for the Tigers, but it's on Mitchell.
Earlier play here offensively. Watch Chris Johnson right here on the follow-up. He has had a terrific year for LSU. He's the #9 rebounder in the Southeastern Conference, 2nd in blocks in the SEC.
5 rebounds and 4 points for Chris Johnson as Tasman Mitchell committed that LSU foul, and Stevenson rolls in the free throw. Perry Stevenson, as we mentioned earlier, from Lafayette, Louisiana. Northside High School, twice All-State in Louisiana, and on a 4A state championship team. Averaged a triple-double in his prep days. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 10 blocks as a senior. Born in Lafayette, Louisiana. Not sure why the whistle. They call a foul on Stevenson away from the ball. Perry Stevenson has committed his 3rd foul.
It's a rather quiet foul.
Yeah, I didn't know what had transpired. Tasman Mitchell shot good, and Stevenson took a shot in the nose as Tasman went by him.
He was trying to get back to defend him, and he was kind of on his heels. And as he went by, he kind of clipped him on the nose.
That was a rough possession for Perry Stevenson. Got his third foul and took a shot to the nose in addition. Stays out there with 3 fouls. Porter for 3. And he's 2 for 4 in the game. Rebounded by Marcus Thornton. LSU with the ball and a 4-point lead. Kentucky had the first basket of the game. LSU has led since that time. And a 3 by Thornton off balance. Tough shot, but he got it.
Tom, I've heard you say that the last 2 years. Thornton off balance gets the 3. He seems to do it 3 or 4 times a game.
LSU's biggest lead has been 8 in the first half. Porter open, 3-point range. That's a good one. He's now 3 of 5.
They almost have to have him, and they encourage him to take that shot because LSU just does not respect his shooting ability.
Temple got open underneath, got behind the defense and laid it in.
Nice cut that time by Temple. Meeks was trailing him. He was just going right up his back, and Temple had the advantage.
Patterson found the double team, so got it to Stevenson. He can't get a shot away. Harris drives and lays it in. Ramon Harris has a half dozen.
Once again, LSU's defense broke down a little bit there. They thought maybe the ball was going to go back to Patterson or Stevenson, and Harris just took it right to the rim.
Temple again down underneath behind the defense, but came up short, and Patterson with his 9th rebound.
It's the second time they've worked on Meeks. Temple tried to take him inside for the 2nd straight trip.
Meeks working on Temple that time, but had to give it up. For Patterson, couldn't catch it. 10th turnover. Chris Johnson to Marcus Thornton, but a foul out on the floor will negate that basket. Ramon Harris commits the foul, his 2nd, after he made this driving layup for the Wildcats. Timeout. It's 37-33 Tigers. LSU, Kentucky battling to advance to the semifinals. The winner meets the victor of the Mississippi State South Carolina game later on. Both teams shooting well in the second half. Kentucky 3 of 4, LSU 4 of 7. And LSU maintaining the lead by 4. Spencer couldn't get away from Galloway, who entered the game at the break. Here's Marcus Thornton off the curl, missing a 3. Galloway the board. Galloway still on the move, but then cut off by Temple. Patterson, double team, triple team, they took it away. Thornton's out in front, but Temple can't get it to him, so whips it back to Spencer for 3. Bad looking shot from Spencer, and Galloway a 2nd straight rebound.
Patterson's got to get rid of that basketball when he gets in there if he doesn't have a shot.
Darius Miller misses a 3. And Temple said, let's slow it down here as he has the rebound.
Here, Trent Johnson, when he went out at halftime, said, we've got to be a little bit more patient on offense.
Tasman Mitchell. That was a tough shot. Perry Stevenson had his long arm extended, and Tasman got his 7th point. Lead back to 6. Kick. Well, a little no kick, and as it goes out of bounds to Kentucky, as we update our Verizon text of war. Most valuable to their team. Fans say 65% in favor of Jody Meeks over Marcus Thornton, the league MVP. Text S1 or S2 to 55333. Today, Marcus has 16 and Jody has 6. 14 minutes to go in this quarterfinal matchup. Miller looking for Patterson. Got it to him. Miller lets the double team come to him. Missed the shot after going up and under, and rebounded by Terry Martin, who's returned for the Tigers.
It was actually a pretty good move by Patrick Patterson. He just didn't finish the shot. He got the defender up in the air and then went underneath and couldn't make the layup.
Patterson 2 of 6 shooting today.
Well, Johnson wants it against Patterson inside. Spencer doesn't get it to him.
Well, Thornton had it blocked by Patterson. That's his third block. Here's Galloway open on the pass from Miller.
I don't know where Spencer was going defensively that time. He tried to cover the baseline. The first thing you got to do is stop the ball.
Darius Miller spotted Kevin Galloway unimpeded to the basket for the slam after the Patterson block set it all up. And Kentucky continued to narrow the gap after this Galloway dunk. South Carolina Gamecocks, co-champions in the SEC East, the number 2 seed from the East, awaiting their turn on the court. They'll square off against the Bulldogs of Mississippi State in our second quarterfinal matchup this afternoon. Now there's Joe Dean Sr. and his son, Joe Jr., studying the release there prior to his swinging into action behind the microphone tonight. 30 years ago, Joe Dean and I courtside at Rupp Arena, our first SEC broadcast.
Tom, the three years that he played at LSU, he was first team all-tournament at LSU.
Three straight years. Batted right to Meeks after the miss, and Meeks racing up court. LSU got back. Meeks got it to Patterson. Trying to go inside to Stevenson. LSU was expecting it, and Miller saves it for Kentucky. Shot clock does not reset. It's at 10. Galloway trying to get it to Patterson again, and it was knocked right to Stevenson. He missed the dunk. No basket. Foul on the Stevenson attempt.
That was a very strange possession that time on the Kentucky end. Watch again down underneath. Stevenson goes up. He gets fouled, and he'd been better off if Patterson could have gotten the basket because it was an easy one. But Stevenson has a chance to recoup those 2 lost points right here from the charity stripe.
Well, also, it's number 3, foul number 3 on Chris Johnson. Stevenson back rim on the free throw as Johnson goes to the bench with 3 fouls. He's replaced by Quentin Thornton. And Garrett Temple also returns for LSU. Kentucky 6 of 10 at the free throw line as Stevenson is ready to attempt his second this possession. For the season, of course, Kentucky nearly 78% tops in the SEC. Harrelson back in for the Wildcats. Stevenson connects on the second free throw. Margin again trimmed to 3. Kentucky's been able to stay close but never get over the hump. Tasman Mitchell, I don't know about that shot. The decision to take that shot, it was a contested long range 2, but he got it down. He has 9.
Harrelson calling for the ball down inside. Stevenson throws the ball right by Meeks.
12 Kentucky turnovers.
They had 9 in the first half, so obviously they've only gotten 3 so far in this second half. But it's those unforced errors, Tom, that really hurt Kentucky. It's not as a result of some defensive pressure. It's just simply throwing the ball away or dribbling it and making a pass to the guy's foot.
Patterson's rest lasted 1 possession. He's back in for Harrelson. Marcus Thornton double teamed as Patterson comes to help, and they force the turnover. 6th turnover by LSU. But the Tigers still on top. Watch this tough shot by Tasman Mitchell over Harrelson. LSU by 5. 6 LSU. Watercolor, a coastal resort on Florida's Emerald Coast, brings you Southern hospitality. Call 888-775-2545 or visit watercolorresort.com for more information, and mention SEC basketball for up to 25% off select vacation accommodations. There's Rick Stansberry, the Mississippi State coach. He'll play South Carolina coming up next in the quarterfinals.
They got South Carolina in Starkville this year.
75-70 was that score. Meanwhile, Jody Meeks, who's been in double figures every game this season, had 25 yesterday, only 6 points today on 2 of 6 shooting. Nearly another Kentucky turnover. Here's Meeks. Patterson. Up and under against the double team. Another miss by Patterson.
A good duck under, but he still hasn't been able to finish that shot.
And do you think that as the double team comes, he needs to find the open man quickly? Backdoor cut. Thornton lays it in.
He got the steal.
Marcus Thornton with 18, and another steal, his eighth for the Tigers of LSU.
They average 8 steals a game. That's number 4 in the Southeastern Conference. I mean, this is a very quick defensive club.
Thornton forced that one. Blocked, but saved by his teammate. Now Martin for 3. Good! Terry Martin knocks down the 3, his first basket of the game. Timeout Kentucky as LSU has built their biggest lead of the game. It's 10 at 46-36.
Now the Tigers have gotten it done on the arm of Thornton, but also some pretty good defensive work. A good move by Thornton. Watch him come back right here and grab this. Patterson just simply threw it out there, and Thornton just reached out and grabbed it. He throws it back out, and there's Terry Martin nailing a 3. Just some inattention to detail, Tom. That's all it is.
You know, it's pretty tough for Kentucky to win when they're 2 big guns. Meeks and Patterson do not have a good game, and they are not. Patterson is probably going to have a double-double before the game is over, but he's only 2 of 7 shooting, and Meeks has been held to 6 points so far. Ruby Tuesday's handcrafted burgers, bold on flavor, big on taste. 25 great burgers with endless fries, starting at $5.99. The new Ruby Tuesday, so good it's guaranteed. Tom Hammond, Larry Conley, quarterfinal round SEC tournament. The announcers selected and compensated by Raycom Sports, and use of the broadcast. South Express Mission, Southeastern Conference, and Raycom Sports is prohibited. Tigers with 14 points off the 13 Kentucky turnover.
Well, they've taken full advantage of it. Right there, you could see the result of it with that nice steal by Thornton to get it to Martin for that 3.
Quentin Thornton commits his second foul. And that's 4 against LSU the second half. Kentucky, remember now, the best shooting free throw team in the SEC. So
they've struggled a little bit today, though, at the strike.
They are 7 of 11. But getting to the line might be a recipe for a comeback if they can get the ball inside and draw the fouls on the Tigers. Because the Wildcats overall are shooting about 44%. Nearly another turnover. Patterson chased it down. Miller spins, goes up, scores. Nice move by Darius Miller. First basket.
You know, there was nothing happening on the offensive end. Everybody was just standing around, and Miller says, all right, I'll take it upon myself to show you what I can do. Nice spin move again into that lane. He's done that several times here at the SEC tournament.
That breaks a 3-minute field goal drought for the Wildcats. They needed it. Shot clock at 10.
Spencer was going to use that screen. Good switch by Stevenson.
3 to shoot. Spencer lost it. Miller leads the break. Porter spotted for the 3. Miller with his head down, didn't see him. Now they get it to him. 3-pointer Porter, no good. And Quentin Thornton had it bounce right off Stevenson into his arms.
Had a good look. Nobody contested the shot. He just couldn't make it.
That's a wide open look, and it goes down for Tasman Mitchell. How can Tasman Mitchell get that wide open?
Because Stevenson was down on the floor. He either slipped or he was shoved. Whatever happened, he went down on the floor, and it left Tasman Mitchell wide open.
11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals for Tasman.
Patterson's got to react now. The double team's going to come.
Harris. Nice move by Ramon Harris, who has 8 points.
You know, oftentimes I think that Kentucky perimeter stands around and watches Patterson too much. They've got to cut, make some maneuvers in there, and make that defense guard them.
8.5 to go. Kentucky fans trying to trigger a rally here with the Cats. And they turn it over. Bad pass from Martin. Mitchell couldn't get it. Watch for Geico's Best of 2009, a traveling tour celebrating the best games, players, and performances of the year. Go to raycomsports.com for more information. Find out when Geico will be visiting a college campus near you. So 8 turnovers by the LSU Tigers now. They lead it by 8. Kentucky's ball. Darius Miller, can he start the rally? He's fouled. It's on Temple. No, it's on Martin, excuse me. Called it on Terry Martin, his first foul. 5 against the Tigers.
Tom Miller is making a habit of getting that ball into the lane. Ole Miss couldn't stop him yesterday, and LSU is struggling to do the same here today. Very quick at getting the ball in there, and there's a little 6 or 8 foot jump shot right in front.
Well, can Miller come on in the second half and fill the void here for the Wildcats? Galloway replaces Harris for Kentucky. 12 points, a good game in the first round win over Ole Miss for the freshman, last year's Mr. Basketball in Kentucky. 4 points here, but all 4 coming in the last minute or so. Tasman Mitchell, that's an open look, hit the front of the rim, but he got his own rebound. And then a foul as he takes it back up. Fouls on Porter. And 2 LSU free throws forthcoming with 7:58 left. And the Tigers up on Kentucky by a half dozen. Six-point LSU lead over Kentucky with 7:58 left. These 2 teams played at Rupp Arena in February. It was one of the great finishes of the season. Darius Miller hit a 3 to tie it with 27 seconds left. But then Marcus Thornton got a pick from Tasman Mitchell. No switch, and Mitchell got the open 3. Jody Meeks then missed it, a contested 3-pointer with 3 seconds left, and LSU held on to win 73-70. Marcus Thornton with 23 points and 9 boards that day. He has 18 this afternoon.
He's done that to a lot of Southeastern Conference opponents over the last 2 seasons.
And Kentucky, Larry, in their win over Ole Miss yesterday, had 4 players in double figures. Today, not a single Wildcat has reached double digits. Tasman Mitchell connects on the first free throw. 12 points for him. Those high-scoring duos, well, Patterson and Meeks combining for only 14 today. Second free throw is no good. Johnson saved it, but right to Stevenson. Thornton saved it in, but couldn't get the steal. Stevenson claims it in backcourt. Shot clock reset, they say, and it does. Meeks to Stevenson, takes the shot, wide open, no. Rebounded by Mitchell, got to hit those. 8 boards for Tasman Mitchell.
Mitchell having an awfully good day. He's probably going to wind up with a double-double, too.
Temple for 3. Oh, big shot by the veteran Garrett Temple.
You know, we talk so much about his defensive prowess. I'm going to tell you what. This guy can shoot the basketball.
He has 9 points, but that was a huge 3 to put the Tigers back up by 10. Patterson holding. Now goes up, jump hook, rolls in.
Chris Johnson with those fouls, maybe not wanting to attack him defensively right now. Trying to avoid picking up that fourth foul.
Patterson, the first Wildcat in double figures. Off the foot of Temple, able to save it. That leaves Spencer open for three. It's good.
Good pass by Temple. After reorganized himself at midcourt after Porter attempted to steal, he was able to find Spencer on the right wing.
Spencer with 9 points, biggest lead for LSU. Stevenson blocked by Johnson.
Boy, that was a terrific defensive play by Chris Johnson. Second leading shot blocker in the Southeastern Conference.
There's the three-point shooting. 1 of 5 this second half for the Wildcats, while LSU is 4 of 6. Here's another one. And it's also good. That's Marcus Thornton now with 21 points. 3 times 3 from three-point land for LSU.
Tigers have built their biggest lead up by 14. Watch right here. Garrett Temple from the top. That didn't end the shooting barrage. Once again, Spencer wide open on the wing. And one more on down inside. And the guy that usually makes the threes, that's Marcus Thornton. Tigers looking awfully good right now.
21 for Thornton. He's exceeded 20 points in 7 of his last 8 games, and 19 times overall this season. His credentials for being SEC Player of the Year. The Toyota Info Center at RaycomSports.com, your online destination for coverage of the SEC tournament. Be sure to check out the Toyota Info Center. That's at RaycomSports.com.
That was pretty good shooting. I mean, for all 3 players, 3 different guys making threes there from 3 different positions on the floor.
And now a big hill to climb for the Wildcats as we go under 6 minutes. Jody Meeks sprinting to the hoop, came up short on the shot contested. Patterson's follow results in an LSU foul. If it's on Johnson, that's 4.
Patterson continues to do his work inside.
And Meeks continues to struggle. Chris Johnson did commit his 4th foul. And Patrick Patterson with his 14th double-double of the season. With 10 points and 10 rebounds. And his 3rd consecutive double-figure game, Patterson, as Galloway comes in.
Tom, I don't think it's too premature to say that I think Kentucky maybe ought to throw up that full court press right now because they need some turnovers against LSU.
There is backcourt pressure, but only from Meeks. And Spencer sprints into front court. Trap. Thornton pitched the ball out of it, and the floater by Spencer is no good. Harry Stevenson one-arms the rebound like a big old lobster, put a claw on it.
Double high post for Kentucky. Patterson calling for it again.
Miller for 3. No good. Offensive board, Stevenson. Can't save it as he goes out of bounds into the Photogs. Kentucky down 13, under 5 minutes now.
And the pressure is back again. Spencer just clears everybody out and he says, I'll take Meeks one-on-one.
The Wildcats destined to leave Tampa, heading back to Lexington with a ticket to the NIT. Well, they'll have to have a comeback against the Tigers with 4:43 left. Timeout, LSU. And we're just underway in the quarterfinal round here at the SEC tournament presented by Haviland. And coming up next, we'll see Mississippi State got a big game off the bench by Cody Augustus, career high yesterday down in Georgia in the first round. And then we'll see South Carolina, co-champion in the East, and the number 2 seed led by Devin Downey. Gamecocks and Bulldogs right after this one. The SEC tournament presented by Haviland, Mississippi State, and South Carolina.
That should be a very good one. I think the guy that plays in the backcourt for South Carolina is the hardest man to guard in the Southeastern Conference, and that's Devin Downey. You certainly don't want to confront Jarvis Bernardo with any kind of shot within 3 feet of the basket. Good matchup.
Thornton drives on Miller. Gave it up, 3-point shot. Couldn't hit 4 in a row. That was a miss from 3-point range by Temple.
LSU not known for taking a lot of threes this season, but this afternoon they have taken several against Kentucky and been successful, particularly in the second half.
They're 8 of 19. Galloway came up short. Johnson might have gotten a piece of it. Spencer races Galloway into front court, and the Tigers set it up. Now at 4 minutes. Open 3. Spencer, no good. Thornton lost it out of bounds. Kentucky's ball. Michael Porter set to come back in for Coach Billy G as we take a break with 3:56 left. Back after this from your local SEC station. He hit 3 of their first 4 shots of the half. They cut the lead down to 4, but the Wildcats only 4 of 13 since then and trailing by 13. As we take our final look at our Verizon Text of War, Jody Meeks gets the vote from the Wildcat fans as the MVP of his team. And Jody's had a tough afternoon today. He's been in double figures every game this season. He only has a half dozen points on 3 of 7 shooting against the sticky LSU defense.
I think maybe to even make a larger point of it, there's the fact that he's only had 7 shots. And he can't even get the ball to get the shot off.
Off a curl. Got that one away. At 3 is no good. Darius Miller offensive rebound. Back to Meeks. He's going to drive this one. Jump stop. Laid it up. No good. Tap back to Miller. Miller's going to float it up and in. Timeout Kentucky.
Once again, Miller finds his spot in there. Once he gets the basketball within about 12 feet of the basket, it seems like he gets it in the paint somewhere to get it up and in. Watch the end of the play. Here it comes back out. Now watch Miller grab it. 2 quick dribbles into the lane, pull up, and again that little teardrop, that little short-range jump shot that he is so effective with.
Meanwhile, Jody Meeks, who's had such an outstanding, unbelievable season, really, in many respects. Only 6 points, and now with 3 of 9 shooting. Mississippi State and South Carolina are waiting their call to the center stage. They'll take the court next, and the winner of this game will face them tomorrow in the semifinals. So it should be a good quarterfinal matchup coming up next. Mississippi State and South Carolina. Jody Meeks. Can he find his stride late and trigger a Wildcat rally, or will the Tigers hold on?
Spencer continues to wave everybody off and just takes Meeks one-on-one, and they almost got the steal.
2009 SEC Tournament presented by Haviland, brought to you in part by Toyota. Spencer racing against 2 Kentucky defenders and tied up by Galloway.
That's a pretty nice play by Galloway, sneaking in from behind, and Kentucky will get it back.
Possession arrow to the Wildcats. Galloway out after making that defensive play, and Porter in. Miller. Floater, no good. Tapped by Patterson, who fell to the floor. Then Johnson comes down with it, and he's tied up. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be a foul on Kentucky, I believe. It's on Darius Miller. That's 4 on Miller.
Come on, I think for Kentucky, that is only their 4th team foul. Is that correct?
It is. Now Galloway back as Coach Gillespie makes offensive, defensive substitutions.
Still doing some cleanup on the floor out there. A lot of guys went down and they're trying to get the perspiration off.
Top-ranked Tar Heels had a tough battle today, playing without Lawson. Clock now down to 3 minutes. Kentucky scrambling on defense, and LSU just content to let that clock tick.
Kentucky trying to find places to double team. There's one right there.
And the foul called on Ramon Harris of Kentucky for a push. His third. 5 team fouls now against the Wildcats. That pretty well sums up the Kentucky reaction to the call. Temple for 3. Galloway waited in and tapped it to Harris. Kentucky trying to get a transition basket. Meeks had it batted away and out of bounds to the Wildcats.
Kentucky keeps trying to force the issue, but can't seem to get anything done, and now LSU is going to take a timeout. They're going to take a 30.
And with the timeout taken by the Tigers, let's take a look at our Red Lobster. Nothing but net shot of the game.
And it belongs to Marcus Thornton. This was the 3rd of 3 in a row as Thornton nailed that one and gave LSU their largest lead.
Our Red Lobster nothing but net shot of the game. 21 points for Marcus Thornton. Top scorer in the game. Also has 5 rebounds today. Doing a good job for the Tigers in all categories. Just 2:31 left. Kentucky needs a rally. Patterson tries to ignite it with a slam on a baseline drive.
I think Johnson got deked a little bit right there. Patterson faked the handoff to Meeks, and he thought he was going to go with him, and he went right by him.
Back to a single-digit lead. Nice catch by Thornton. As Tigers have gone 3:45 without a point. But only 2 minutes left. Thornton hammered by Patterson. No call. Wow.
And maybe there was.
Well, maybe there was. I didn't hear a whistle, but Tony Green called it. Only the first foul on Patrick Patterson.
Watch the cut to the basket right here after the catch. Thornton's going inside, and Patterson, he hammered him pretty good. Good afternoon for Marcus Thornton. Not surprised. This is a young man we've been talking about all season long, and I really thought with all of the seniors and all the leadership they had coming back, along with Marcus Thornton and Tasman Mitchell getting healthy, that this LSU team would be something to contend with, and they have been just that, led by this young man on the offensive end, Marcus Thornton.
The Baton Rouge native, coach's selection as SEC Player of the Year. Second free throw, no good. Picked up by Meeks. Miller got it. Darius Miller, 8 points off the Kentucky bench. The lead cut to 7. Spencer fell down and lost it out of bounds. And now a foul's going to be called.
I thought somebody lost their mouth guard right there. It looked like Spencer was trying to go down the right side. Did Porter come over and cause him to go down?
No. That's not a foul. He never even touched him. Spencer just slipped and lost the ball out of bounds. Watch this. Porter never touches him.
Yeah, he just slipped.
Tough call for the Wildcats in the midst of a 7-0 run. Spencer's free throw is good. Watch it. No contact.
Yeah, they got him a little bit with a forearm.
No,
but
I don't think he did. That angle, it looks like he did, but on the other angle, it looked like there was daylight between them. Right?
If it was negligible contact.
Spencer hits 2 free throws. Clutch free throw shooting by Bo Spencer. And the lead back to 9. Darius Miller finds Harris. Knifing to the basket for an LSU foul. Fouls on Tasman Mitchell as Michael Porter changes his shoes.
Wasn't the shoes that caused the foul, was it?
No, it was Spencer that slipped, not Porter.
Well, Kentucky has really had problems with their free throw line today.
Can't afford to miss those free opportunities. They're 10 of 16. Missed 2. And Mitchell travels as he grabs the rebound. And they're going to call for the cleanup crew.
Yeah, cleanup crews on both ends.
They're going to clean up there where Spencer fell down / knocked down. Take your choice. Kentucky will pitch it inbounds with only 1:25 on the clock. Kentucky scored the first basket of the game, but LSU has led ever since that time. Brody Meeks lost it on the way up because he was fouled by Temple.
Well, this is the way to catch up, Tom. You know, if you go up and you're getting fouled, you make free throws, you get yourself back in the game.
Well, does this spell NCAA or does it spell NIT? Most people would say NIT.
I think that bottom line down there tells it all. The last 12 games, they are 4 and 8.
Meeks, the best free throw shooter in the SEC, with his first attempt of the game and his 7th point. Now 8. Remember, he's been in double figures every game this season. Temple in trouble. Finally, Thornton comes back to the ball. Temple races into front court. It's a 7-point LSU lead. Reach in by Miller. Pounding Spencer. Here's the double team in the trap. Got it underneath, and Mitchell put it in. What about the heads-up play by Bo Spencer to find Mitchell unguarded?
We got the double team and kept his head up and found him wide open.
Kentucky turns it over as it's lost underneath by Galloway. The 10th LSU steal of the game. Backcourt foul by Galloway as the chant LSU comes up from the Tiger fans.
Go back and take a look at the point guard for the SEC champion LSU Tigers. Look at Bo Spencer underneath with a nice look to Tasman Mitchell. There are a lot of heroes you can look at in this basketball team of LSU's as we take a look at some of their crowd. Here's UK's crowd, but I will tell you that this LSU team has got several guys they can point to. Obviously Thornton, Mitchell, but Bo Spencer has done an awful lot to make this team good this year.
Only 44.9 seconds left as the LSU Tigers, regular season champions in the SEC, on their way to the NCAA tournament. And also on their way to the semifinals in the SEC tournament here in Tampa. Second free throw no good, but time running out for the Wildcats. They're down by 10. Miller Memorial lost it out of bounds. Which way? They say last touch by the Tigers. Well, the black uniforms did not prove to be lucky for the Wildcats today. Second time they'd worn them this season.
A lot of turmoil, Tom, on this Kentucky basketball team. And right now, a lot to be settled after the season's over with.
Including the status of Coach Gillespie and including whether Patrick Patterson and Jody Meeks will return to the Wildcats. And one would think that they will be at the NIT. And if that happens, very likely the first round game will be hosted by the Wildcats at Memorial Coliseum, the place where you played, Larry. And
indeed,
one of the great venues in the history of college basketball. Rupp Arena will be occupied by the boys state high school tournament. Well, LSU doesn't want to commit a foul in this situation, but they do.
It'll be kind of interesting to see another game at Memorial Coliseum. It's been so many years since they played a men's game there.
What a great place for basketball. Storied Memorial Coliseum.
Opened up in 1950, as a matter of fact. Then they moved to Rupp Arena downtown.
But kind of a bitter pill for the Wildcats as Mississippi State and South Carolina get ready to take the court for their matchup here in the quarterfinal round. Chris Johnson has just fouled out of the game for LSU. He leads with 5 points. Or 4 points. Mississippi State looks loose.
It was a basketball team that really resided in second place in the Western Division for most of the year until about the last 3 weeks of the season. The Auburn Tigers got really hot. Jeff Lebo doing a terrific job of coaching his club to get them into that second spot in the West.
Patterson's free throw is good. LSU, it appears, will move on to the semifinal round in Kentucky, which came into the SEC tournament on a 4-game losing streak. They broke that yesterday with their victory over Ole Miss, but now will have lost 5 of their last 6. And if finishing strong is one of the things that gets you into the big tournament, they will have flunked that department.
Well, I know that in the past, the NCAA selection committee has really taken a look at the last 3 to 4 weeks of the season and how a team performs in those last 10 or 12 games, particularly on the road. Kentucky has struggled this year with their home schedule. I mean, they've been beaten many times, and it's never happened in the past very often.
27.7 on the clock. And Bo Spencer back at the free throw line. Sophomore from Baton Rouge, Glen Oaks High School. 13 for Bo now. That's one above his average. He had 16 in the matchup against Kentucky at Rupp Arena. Meeks. Miller's going to try it. He got, but got it back to Meeks. Knocked out of bounds. You could just see how closely Jody Meeks has been guarded by LSU all day. He never has had any breathing room, never even a sliver of space.
I'm going to give Garrett Temple a lot of credit for that, too. This is a young man that has been awfully good. His reputation as being a terrific defensive player. He made the all-defensive team again in the SEC this year.
Ramon Harris makes the 3. Too little, too late for the Wildcats, though. 11 points for Harris. Jody Meeks, 3 of 9 shooting, 0 for 3 from the three-point line, 8 points. It appears that Jody, unless he gets a bucket in the final 12 seconds, will be held out of double figures for the first time this season. This is the Wildcats' 33rd game. Well, Mississippi State and South Carolina coming up next, and after that tonight, the quarterfinals continue at 7:30 Eastern Time. Tennessee, co-champion in the East and the #1 seed from the Eastern Division, taking on Alabama, winner last night. And it will be Auburn, the hottest team in the league in the final 2 weeks, against the Florida Gators in the nightcap.
Alabama with a good win over Vandy last night, and Florida with a win over Arkansas have propelled both of them to the quarterfinal games. And Tennessee really came on strong at the end of the year. They had 2 big wins on the road, one in South Carolina and one in Florida.
And Tim Brando's hoping that nightcap doesn't go 6 overtime.
If those of you out there who are watching the SEC tournament are not aware, Syracuse and Connecticut went 6 overtimes last night. Syracuse ended up winning that game. I'm sure that score did not make a lot of publications this morning.
Mitchell can't even catch him to foul him. And now Spencer in front court trying their best to commit a foul. Miller finally got him, but only 4.8 on the clock. 5 fouls against Darius Miller, the freshman. Will he stay at Kentucky? That's been the subject of some speculation. Of course, you can name it, and it's been speculated about in Lexington. That's just the nature of the glare of publicity that surrounds Kentucky basketball. 8 points all this half for Darius Miller, who fouls out.
Spencer going to the line today has had a terrible day shooting. Only 3 of 13 from the field, but 5 of 6 from the free throw line so far. He makes this one, he could end up being the second leading scorer in the game today.
16 points. Jody Meeks. What a fine season he's had. This ends on a bit of a sour note for Jody. Held out of double figures for the first time this season. LSU places 3 players in double figures, led by Marcus Thornton with 21 points, as they hold Meeks to a season-low 8 points this afternoon. And Kentucky is eliminated from the Southeastern Conference Tournament as regular season champion LSU moves on to the semifinal round with a 67-58 victory over the Kentucky Wildcats. Stay with us now as the SEC tournament presented by Haviland continues with another quarterfinal matchup between South Carolina and Mississippi State. But for now, Tom Hammond saying so long. See you in a few moments back at the SEC tournament.